Yo, what's up guys, this is Astranox and I'm back with another epic 7 video. And we'll do my daily 7, see if I get a hero and review that hero or artifact. If I get an artifact, I'm gonna keep on summoning for a hero. And let's see what I get. Okay, artifact. Oh nice, I didn't have this one. So this you can put on speed supports like Tierra. You can have her build up the speed on let's say like you're farming Wyvern, you're farming Golem. You have this, and let me just do a quick review of it. So it's 1% to 2% when it's maxed. Realistically, it's gonna be like 1.7%. Probably shouldn't go that high on one single artifact, especially on a 3-star. So yeah, I mean, this is 10% up to 20% increase in speed. So you build it up on the first wave and it's perfect. It's going to be ready for the fight that actually matters, the hard encounter. Very good artifact, good pick there. And I will go and summon on Diane banner. I don't like that there's the Noble Oath. We're kind of forced to have the Noble Oath on 5-star artifact side. But like, I'm free to play. I don't have many tries really. I don't want to wait for another gacha banner, and from what I'm hearing, previous gacha banners from Korea, since we're synced with them now, we're not gonna have the banner that were ran previously, unless it's like a combo of like 2 characters or whatever, character artifact, and it's like we're gonna see the character again. So yeah, let's go. Let me just summon here. Not expecting too much, but you never know. I mean, Diane is good. Diane is very good. Artifact. Grail of Blood. Recover your health equal to 10% of the caster's attack at the start of the turn. Effect is increased 1.5 times if health is below 30%. Okay, let me check this thing. I don't think I had that artifact actually. Pretty sure that's the first one I get. So 20% of the caster's attack, and if below, it's always below 30%. Okay, so what can I say really about this thing? You can put this on a farmer start of the turn. I mean, if you're running with a healer, or at least a support that has some healing, you wouldn't need this. You could use it to combine it with the semi-healer, not the full-on healer like Destina or any of the other true healers. But this could be used on a farmer early on, and yeah, I mean, you get lower HP, below 30%, and you get 50% bonus on that heal, and it scales with attack, so it's gonna be it needs to be an attacker with high attack, obviously. All right, let's get back into summoning here. If I get like a Noble Oath, let's say, eventually I'll be running an actual tank and healer. Now I'm running more offensive. Okay, 4-star artifact. All right. Syra Ren. Oh, that's the one. Okay, inflict random debuff for 1 turn when attacking. But mage exclusive though. All the 4-star and 5-star artifact are class based in this game. Yeah, I mean, this goes up to like 70%, I believe. You could use this on Carmen Rose. I mean, you would be running this for maximum damage output, but if you don't have it, you could use this. Okay, it goes up 50%, but you're gonna have it like 35, 40%, around 40%. It's not bad. It's not bad actually, because like Carmen Rose, she has triple like skill 1 and 2 and 3 are attacks. So if you're fighting Wyvern, you want to have debuffs on the Wyvern so you don't get attacked twice, and this is gonna be quite useful. It's gonna be another chance to inflict a debuff, and really you can put it on any mage that you're using in your party if you don't have anything better. Or for Wyvern, it would be quite helpful to help you with survival. And you never know, maybe the debuff that lands is actually quite useful as well. Yeah. I'm still summoning. We're waiting for a hero. And then if I get a hero that I already have, I have to I have to do it. Oh, Taranor Guard. Yes, well, I can just go now because my Taranor Guard is 6-star and I use him all the time. So let's get that memory imprint, shall we? All right. Well, 12 flat defense. Guess it's better than nothing. But yeah, I have a review for Taranor Guard. He's amazing. You should go check it out if you don't use him. If you've never heard of him, if you think he's trash. If you think he's trash, if you think he's a joke, yeah, just go check the review. Man, I'm gonna finish all my, like, imagine later on, like this series, I can't just keep going with it because, oh, well, I have her, but I used her very briefly early on when I started the game. I did not have an attack buffer, so before Elsen, I did use her. So Helga, skill 1, attack with an axe with a 35% chance to decrease defense for 2 turns. Yeah, I mean, early on, if you don't have Elsen and you pull her, it goes up. I mean, if you want to go all the way through and enhance this, yeah, 5, 5, 5. So 50% chance. So usually, when you have a defense down on skill 1 that lasts for 2 turns, it's like 35% chance, and then with skill enhance it goes up to 50% chance. That's usually how it goes. Skill 2, strongly slam the enemy with an axe. A critical hit will extend any buff granted to the caster by 1 turn. So if you land a critical hit with this thing, it's gonna extend any buff that she currently has on herself. So it's good, but if you want to really use her, you're gonna have to go all the way through with the whole crit rate investment. Encourage allies, increasing attack for 2 turns. Extend buff duration by 1 turn if you soul burn. Soul burn is 10 souls only, so it's not bad. So Earth Warrior 3-star. The enhancement cost should not be too expensive. Maybe a Mola Gora go for the -1 turn on the 3rd skill, because that's usually how it is on -1 turn buffs. But we'll go and see more in depth what's up with this thing. So yeah, it can be goes down to 4 turn, lasts for 2 turn. Yeah, I mean, I prefer Elsen. Elsen is so much better, really. But still, let's go quickly check the acquired. Oh, because oh yeah, there she is. Yeah, Mola Gora go, and you need Archer's Vision materials for skill enhancing her. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna do a stat analysis of her. Then the skill ups I kinda did already. And of course, I'm gonna get more into what kind of gear you want. Awakening materials, memory imprint. I didn't check it though. Best items, set, substats, best artifact. Where does she shine? Team composition, PvP. Better heroes. Well, Elson. If she were getting, not quite, because Elson is free. And so let's see here real quick. Speed. The thing is, speed is actually good on her. Speed is actually very good. Like Elson is in the 90. He might actually have 90 speed. Her defense for 6-star is it's alright. Her health is also alright. It's like average. Her defense is a bit low and yeah, not very tanky here. Crit chance 24%, probably from Awakening. So attack percentage, crit chance percentage 3%. This yeah, you need this if you want to prolong the buff duration. You want 100% chance here. So third Awakening. Now let's check real quick. Fourth is speed 4. Okay, so fourth Awakening is quite good if you're gonna use her. Fifth attack 6% and last critical chance. Okay, so you can do without the fifth and the sixth. You're gonna need cold look for the fifth and the sixth. You're gonna need mercenaries medicine. I'm actually surprised at her speed. That is very quick. If you compare her to Tierra, see 112 speed on Tierra, so very good. And if you check Elson's at 94. No, that's the Awakening. Okay, so Elson is actually 94 base. So 20 speed more than Elson. If like for PvP really, if you're running an offensive team and you don't want to be to get cut in between, you're like you don't want the other team to go before your attack buffer, and you want your whole rotation to go like you speed buff. I mean you combat readiness boost, and then you like you want to buff, and then you want your attackers to go before the enemy. But Elson, if you have Elson's fast enough, he can like have at least the defense up if the enemy goes, so it's helps you in terms of survival. So skill enhance. Yeah, I talked about that already. Now let me move on to which. Oh yeah, memory imprint. Sorry, memory imprint. Tierra has speed on her memory imprint. Helga. Oh, it's speed too. She's got speed. Interesting. Like if you check for Elson, he's flat defense. So she is actually a good option in PvP if you want to get this attack buff up, and you don't have. If you want a hero that has a quick base speed. Yeah, so best items for Helga. Since this extend the buffs on herself by 1 turn, I wouldn't necessarily use her as a damage dealer, but she's got the defense down. Really, she's got the defense down, and she's got this thing with the extension. So potentially you could use her as a damage dealer early on, but going all the way through and using her instead of going for a Silk or like a Taranor Guard, a Lorena. The thing is, Lorena does not bring you a defense down and doesn't bring you attack up, and yeah, that's the thing. I quoted this to so she's gathering attribute reward bonus 10%, and this friendship for if you're doing labyrinth, if you want to have more friendliness when you go camp. Okay, so yeah, best items. I like to really have her on as a buffer to really use this thing, because it lasts two turns. In PvP, realistically, you want to buff and like get the damage dealer on the other team to shred down in 1 or 2 turn maximum. So you don't really want to care about the cooldown. So you can just go swift on her and hit to land the defense down potentially. But if she's fast enough, yeah, you're not gonna be able to go 2 turns unless she dual attack. If she dual attack, there's a chance that she lands defense down on the target. So there's also that possibility. But I would skill up this thing. But realistically, she would only really shine more. If you cannot pull Taranor Guard for defense down and you really need it, and also if you want to farm Banshee instead of Wyvern, she's Earth. She's gonna counter Banshee, which is ice, and she also splits their ice and Earth, so she can do good there. But as free to play, you've got Elsan and you've got Yuna that you can work toward, and both have attack buff. Yuna has speed and attack together, and she AoE attacks, does decent damage, or actually pretty good damage. But Helga, you could, yeah, you could go speed and hit, or you could go. You wouldn't farm Wyvern with her, so you wouldn't really have access to crit and hit. So I would go, yeah, you can just use whatever you got really, because if you use her, that means you're very early game, and getting a swift like a speed set on her, meaning you have to do Wyvern. You wouldn't bring your own Wyvern, so you could be doing Golem early on, and you could have you could just make her tanky with the HP and defense sets really. You could and what you want on substats would be defensive substats really. You want some speed, but the best, you could just go and get speed set from the adventures early on, and you could look for, of course, speed on the substat. You want HP percentage, defense percentage, and you want effectiveness to be able to land the defense down debuff on skill 1, and having defense down plus attack up means that by herself she's able to triple the damage output of your team toward whoever you're attacking. If she does land defense down and have attack buff on the team, because when you have the defense debuff on the enemy, you double your damage, and then the attack buff, that's 50% attack increase. So yeah, it comes out to triple damage against the target if the target is not immune to debuffs, or if it wasn't removed. So you could come in with your actual damage dealer and do some serious damage. But yeah, you do have to land this, but she has 5% chance to dual attack, so she can help out. You could potentially be lucky and get that defense down for 2 turns on the enemy. So best artifact for her, You could use her in the front line, really. If you make her tanky with the speed set, yeah, you could have her tanky, and that means you could use this, which makes it so when she gets attacked, there's a chance between 20 and 40%. Realistically, like around 30%, you're gonna have it up maybe when she's attacked. But early game is mostly gonna be like under 30% chance, but still lowers cooldown by 1 turn, can be activated once per turn. So this will make it so her she can do the attack buffing more often. And she's Earth, so she can be you can have her kind of forced to take damage from fire enemies, but if she's Earth in front and you're fighting ice monsters, they will attack her in front and they will deal reduced damage, but because she countered their element, so she takes reduced damage, but you're gonna have some random damage spread across your team depending on what type of abilities the monsters have. But still, could use her as a tank for against ice, and yeah, I wouldn't use it as a tank against fire, but yeah, don't do that actually. She probably wouldn't be tanky enough. But yeah, against earth and ice, it's you can do that, have her in the front line. You could have even increased speed here if you want to have her faster the rest of your team, your damage dealers. And with this thing, it's gonna have up to like, let's say realistically halfway there. You get 15% increased speed after you build it on the waves before the boss, and then at the boss you're even faster, so you can have a higher uptime on the attack buff on your the rest of your team, because I'm assuming she's one of the fastest or the fastest on your team. If you get her in pair with Tierra, which can have between 75 and 100% chance defense down for 2 turns on her skill 3, wouldn't have to rely on her defense down on skill 1, but still at that point might as well just build an Elson, because you're gonna have defense down from Tierra. But if you don't have defense down in all the heroes that you have, she's a contender. If you don't have yeah, that's like I said, if both are debuffs is up, attack is up, on an attacker, it's going to be triple damage against that target, so that's quite huge. If she's a support, you can use this to have extra damage against the boss, Golem, Banshee, or like in the Adventure, in the Abyss, whatever, but not for PvP. For PvP, could have that. In PvP, you're gonna be fighting the AI, so fire will attack her primarily. So you could, if you have this against fire heroes, her cooldown is gonna get reduced, and she can use her skill 2 and 3 more often. But yeah, I mean, you could have her more tanky if you want her in the front line with this chance to have continuous healing for 2 turns when attacked, or you could have Aqua Rose puts a barrier on you between 5 and 10% of your max HP for 1 turn, grants every 2 turns, and could have this if you want to lower the combat readiness of the enemy. Now 4 stars, she's a warrior. I mean, lower her health, more attack and speed she has. This you would use on an actual damage dealer. Yeah, I mean, she could be built as a damage dealer, but her kit, I would lean more toward actually going for speed, and her great base speed makes her yeah, a good contender for buffing as fast as possible. Elson is like 20 speed lower than her, so yeah, it's easier to speed tune her in a PvP team, so you can burst down the threat on 1 or 2 after 1 or 2 turn. Yeah, Hell Cutter. You wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, if you want some, no, it ends after you attack. This, if she's your tank in front of you, you want some effect resistance. 5 star at that point. I mean, that's really for a true DPS. lifesteal this, and you could have this. Yeah, if the caster's health is less than 75%. Yeah, if she's in front, if she's tanking, but she doesn't have enough health and defense, so that's the problem. It just wouldn't work, and then this is for a damage dealer. So I would stick with the 3-star artifacts, and really that's if you want to have her as your buffer. If you want to have her as your damage dealer, you could use this Ascending Axe to make it easier on building your critical hit chance. That's let's say 7 or 8% realistically you're gonna have here, so it's 21 to 24% crit chance increase on her, and it's gonna help her with the skill 2 with this thing here. If you want to keep buffs on her, so if you have someone else in your group that provides any other type of buff like speed, you know, early on you could have her with like if we talk about team composition, he brings defense down and increase speed for all allies. This one is more reliable. It's not a main attack though, but it's on a higher chance. Speed's gonna go up and increase own combat readiness. So you could have, if you want to be fighting against Banshee, you could have Mukacha, but I would use Jecht instead, because you got decreased hit chance. This does not interfere with her. It's a different debuff, so it's good to have multiple debuffs. This will dispel a debuff on an ally at the beginning of each turn, and this grants continuous healing and speed for all your allies. So you could have Jecht, you could have with Helga. It's going to be a great combo early on, or Helga and Mukacha, but Jecht is a more like a support friendly good duo together, and she could extend the speed buff and the continuous healing on herself, which is not bad. So yeah, I mean there is a lot of other heroes, but I can't just get into all this. That's going to be enough. And for PvP, like I said, great base speed. If you really want to get that attack buff up, she's a viable option with the 114 base speed. And the thing is, I wouldn't invest too much into her because Yuna's at 112, and that's attack and speed buffing at the same time with this, you know. So, but Yuna might not be accessible for you early on. I mean, you have to do her connection, and if you want to get Elson, you go in the lobby on the left side, you speak with the NPC sitting at the table by him or herself, because it rotates between the heroes that are available for the connection, and you can actually do the connection for Jecht, but actually it takes a while. You need to help out your guild members, and I'm just 69 in, and yeah, Elson is actually very easy to obtain, and just decrease attack, heal the whole team, attack and defense up after the third awakening, soul burn for 1 extra turn, so that's 3 turn up out of a 4 turn cooldown. You skill enhance, and it's up permanently pretty much, and you have him on speed with speed substat, and hit set for a higher effectiveness to land the debuffs. Then you can build Arena for your damage dealer, and yeah, I mean, she's usable, but there's a lot of other options. This is her connection for Yuna later on, and this is gonna be a pain to farm, but it's doable. It just takes time, consistency. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this hero. Thanks again for watching. I'm Astranox. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out for now.